Hi everyone. We're going to talk about the Sagittarius new moon that is happening on the 7th and why it is lucky, but also things that we need to watch for during this time, because it's not only, there's a lot of planets that are at home in their signs. There's also a water trine that is happening through December, and lots of stelliums going on in particular signs too, which means there is more than one planet in a particular sign. So things in December, you know, we talked about with Mercury retrograde, cleaning everything out. Oh, I also want to say real quick before I get into it, if you're waiting on a personal reading from me, they are coming. I finally got well after being sick for 2 weeks. And this really heavy energy that's been going on has kind of affected me a little bit. So I am being good to myself so I don't get sick again for Christmas and the holidays, because I don't want to be sick for the new year. And I'm not over pushing any energies. If you haven't heard from me in an email about your reading, it is coming. I do have several days this week where I have like catch-up days. So hopefully this week I will be fully caught up on all readings. If you're really wondering where your reading is, I don't mind if you email and ask me. It will not upset me in any way. Just know that I am not purposefully ignoring anyone. We'll put it that way. Okay. So we have Mercury. When we did the Mercury retrograde reading, I talked about how this is going to be a time of really cleaning things up and getting things prepared and taken care of before the first of the year. We have the water trine of Neptune and Mars are in Pisces. We have the North Node is in Cancer for the next year and a half. There will be a full moon in Cancer on December 22nd. We'll have another reading for that. And we have Venus and Mercury in Scorpio right now. And Mercury will still be in retrograde until the 12th of December, where it will go direct in Scorpio. So there's that water trine that is producing a lot of heavy energy right now. Jupiter and the Sun and the Moon will all be in Sagittarius on December 7th. This is going to give everybody a really big opportunity to start intentionally manifesting things they want for the new year. And I love this placement, the stellium of planets that are going to be in Sagittarius, because we will get that extra push forward. Sagittarius is the sign where they have, you know, it's the centaur, where it's half man, half horse, and they have the bow and arrow, and they point it in the direction they want to go, and they let it go, and they release, and they head that direction to go get their arrow, right? And that's what Sagittarius season asks of all of us. But because we have all of this really heavy water energy that's going on at the same time, some of us don't really feel like following the arrow. Some of us don't feel like heading that direction. So if you're one of those people that are kind of feeling very bogged down by the heavy weight of water, so much water, so much water, so much water, this is going to give you a jumpstart opportunity to maybe start planning, to start intentionally manifesting things, to really bring some purpose into your existence of what you want for the first of the year, what you want as we go into Capricorn season. Because once we hit Capricorn season, Capricorn is the workhorse. It's the goat. It gets to the top of the mountain. So logically, if you're an earth sign, if you're a water sign right now, you might feel like it's hard to trudge through the water, hard to trudge through the mud, because water mixed with earth is not fun. Makes very muddy, makes quicksand, you know. So allow don't be so hard on yourself. If you're not getting into the get up and go kind of attitude right now, don't be really hard on yourself. The best way for you to do things is to make a plan, is to write things down, is to set your intentions for what you want, because that's what Sagittarius season is asking for you. And Jupiter being in Sagittarius, it rules. Jupiter is the planet of Sagittarius. It rules Sagittarius. It is a very, very lucky planet, and it wants the best for us. But it also doesn't want us to be bogged down by all of the old junk and all of the old crap. It wants us to make room to bring in all of the good luck. So that's what this day, or this time frame, because it really is going to last about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. This time frame is going to feel difficult to get going, but if you can't move, you can always rest, and you can always, especially if you're not a mutable sign, because Sagittarius is also mutable, and so mutable signs are the get up and go signs, Cardinal signs want to, make the plan and get it into action as well, but sometimes it's harder to get moving after you make a plan, right? Sometimes the cardinal signs are like overzealous about what they want to do. So allow yourself the space, and with the Mercury retrograde, allow yourself to finish off letting go. Let go of all of those things that have really kept you, I have my blankie with me today. It's so cold here. So I can't believe how cold it got so quickly here, because I'm in the Midwest, and it's like already snowed like 4 times, and it's supposed to snow again this week. So it's like, I can't with this early winter. It's crazy. Usually we don't get snow until like the end of December, beginning of January into February. And it started the beginning of November this year. And it's like, I can't stand it. So let's see, as a collective, because this is for all signs, what we can expect out of this Sagittarius new moon. And we'll have that. And we do have the other stellium I was talking about. We have Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. It's very interesting. Mars will be moving into Aries on January 1st. We'll also have some eclipses in January, which I will do readings for as well. There's going to be some changes to the channel. Some people have asked me where the weekly soulmate readings have gone, and I feel like connecting with the collective more than breaking it down into just like a relationship thing. I am going to do the monthly soulmate readings for December, so those will be coming. If you could just be a little patient, I'll get to them. It hasn't been the easiest of times right now. And getting ready for the holidays while feeling, because I don't just feel my energy, I feel the collective energy as well. So, like, I avoid the grocery store like the plague when I'm feeling like this. I actually had to have groceries delivered the other day because I'm like, I don't really want to go into the store and deal with people right now. That's just, I'm a hermit. I am the quintessential Virgo when it comes to this kind of stuff. So, this is so beautiful because it's exactly what I was saying. So the first card that we have as a collective is the 6 of Wands, and we have the 6 of Swords. So this is literally, like, if you looked at how these two cards, this person is literally walking straight towards their victory, or rowing, if you will. The 6 of Swords person is rowing straight towards their victory. And I feel like a lot of people, and we have the Hierophant, I feel like a lot of people are moving away from the status quo. Because the Hierophant is all about the institution. It can represent marriage, but it also represents spirituality. It can represent the way that the collective feels and thinks, the status quo, the stuff that we grew up with, the traditional values. And a lot of people are moving away from how they grew up and what they believed in as children and what they believed in, and what doesn't sit with them anymore is kind of falling by the wayside. And they're starting a whole new chapter. I feel like we're all starting a whole new chapter. And I feel like it started much earlier this year, but it was there's this culmination during Scorpio season with Venus going retrograde. There was like this culmination of things that we really recognized had to be left behind or had to fall by the wayside, that we could no longer subscribe to a certain idea or a certain system or a certain way of being. And now we're getting the opportunity to start over again. And this new moon is going, and that's what I mean by intentionally manifesting things, setting your intentions for what you want to see of yourself in 2019. And it's not even really New Year's resolutions, because I feel like we need to be making new resolutions all year long. I don't want you to be like, no, okay, so I'm going to be like 30 pounds lighter. That's great. If that's what you want to do and you want to set that 30 pound, limit of like losing 30 pounds in the next year, that's fantastic. And you want to start that resolution now, that's okay. But what I really want you to do is what's best for you. So if losing 30 pounds is what you need to do and that's best for you, then that's fantastic. But if you still have 10 pounds left to go and it's this time next year, I don't want you to be too hard on yourself, because we're constantly evolving, and our limits and our ways of being and where we're going in the world are always changing and evolving. And if you set your mind to know this is what I'm going to do, because this is a very fixed energy, right? If you set yourself on a subscribed belief system, this is a fixed energy too, kind of. The Knight of Pentacles, it's a little bit more mutable than the Hierophant, but if you set yourself in a subscribed belief of this is exactly how I want 2019 to look, and then it doesn't look that way at all, and you don't give room to grow and expand and evolve during 2019, you could have the potential to fall backwards because you were overzealous, right? And sometimes Sagittarius season, again, can make us a little overzealous. So when we're pointing the arrow, when we have that arrow guided in the direction that we want it to go, you can shoot the arrow, but as you go searching for that arrow and seeing where it landed, because you shot it in the general direction of where you wanted it to go, make sure that you're not so incredibly set on that intention that you're not giving space for yourself to evolve during that intention or during that manifestation. Because the Knight of Pentacles is the kind of energy that does things where it doesn't skip the steps, right? It's very methodical. It actually represents Virgo because it's mutable earth. And mutable earth can cause earthquakes. I said that during, what was it, the Leo reading, I think it was. I don't remember, Leo or Aquarius. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, what is mutable earth? It's when the earth moves, and that's an earthquake. So what can Virgos do, right? When an earthquake is happening in a Virgo's life, it doesn't go very well. So we really have to make room for things in our life, even though we have set intentions and we have manifestations. Just because it doesn't come down to the exact way we want it to look or the exact way we want it to go, it doesn't mean that it's all for naught. It's all for nothing. Because you still grew and you still manifested. And so when you are thinking about setting these intentions, don't set it upon a subscribed belief system. Set it with the intention that the universe is going to evolve you during this manifestation time. Okay? And yes. Page of Wands. If you're getting messages from people, or you're thinking about messaging possibly an earth sign, could be a Taurus, this is going to be a really good time for communication. Mercury goes direct on the 12th. Yes, I understand that. But when Mercury's in retrograde, it really just means that the planet is closer to Earth, so the energy is stronger with Mercury. That's why I get tripped up, because my thoughts are going faster than my mouth. Because Mercury works with Virgos in a way where it makes their thought process, that's how we think. That's Mercury. With Geminis, it's all about communication and talking. So they actually have better speech, maybe their thought process isn't as fast as their speech is, kind of thing. They say things before they think about it. They speak before they think, yeah, during Mercury retrograde, which is fine, as long as you can clean up the mess afterwards, that's fine. And it's not always a mess, but sometimes you get, anyways, I'm not even going to go into it. I love my Geminis, by the way. I love you, Geminis. I'm not even throwing shade at you. It's just the raw truth is what I do. I do raw truth. Mercury. And I'm ruled by it a lot in my chart. So, It will be a time for communication. You may want to wait until after the 12th or just go for it. Just remember, again, this is all about leaving space because Sagittarius wants to point the arrow and it wants to go in that direction. But Jupiter wants to give you your manifestations. And if you're bogged down and you're clouded down by the things that you can't get rid of, these messages aren't going to be clear. Okay? So 6 of Wands. Let's see what the victory is. We're walking into a great victory with an air sign, possibly. Be very discerning. King of Swords. The King of Swords really likes himself, but for some reasons can be kind of harsh. He is more of the disciplinarian. So I honestly want to say, don't let anybody kill your dreams. Rise above it. If you have, don't even let me kill your dreams. If you have a direction you want to go and you want to set a resolution for yourself or manifest something for yourself and you're very clear on it, do it. By all means, go and do it. Don't let anybody hold you back, right? And if you kind of have to keep your mouth shut during this time, you don't have to tell anybody what you're doing because you don't want to be cut down. So we have the High Priestess on the 6 of Swords. And I think that I kind of even want to say, you don't have to be open with everybody about what your plans are for your future. It's almost like making a wish on a birthday, when you're blowing out the candles on your birthday cake and people say, if you tell people your wish won't come true. Maybe you want to have that kind of mindset where you don't necessarily want to tell everybody your dreams and what your plans are and where you're going. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. There's really absolutely no reason for everybody to know your business. If you want to keep it to yourself, keep it to yourself. I actually think that you'll feel better by doing all of that. And then we have the Hierophant. So subscribing to a traditional belief system where you might have felt a little controlled by it. And this may be why you need to keep your things to yourself. Keep everything to yourself right now. Because you don't want to blow things up right now. You don't want to blow things up right now. You're not really feeling like you need to blow things up right now. It's coming, and you're aware that it's coming. Your intuition is telling you that something needs to change. And I think that you're determined this Sagittarius season to make that change within yourself first. And that could be the whole reason why you're not allowing yourself to get cut down by others by keeping your mouth shut. Because you, again, know what direction that you want to go in and you feel the energy pushing you that way. But there are still some things that need to be wrapped up. With the 6 of Swords, he's already on the water and he's already headed the direction that he wants to go in. And he knows where he's headed. He's headed towards victory. They don't even have any bags packed there. They didn't plan anything. Some of us are planners. Some of us need to make sure that we're taking things step by step, right? You don't want to just do something on a whim and crush your entire life or other people's lives just because you had a whim and a direction where you wanted to go. Sorry, my hair's driving me crazy at the moment. I do think that you are determined to stand in your truth, to stand in what you believe in and not subscribe to what society is saying and what society wants you to believe in. And I think that that is actually a really big push that's happening to a lot of people as we go into 2019. So you're really not alone. Even if you feel like you're kind of alone in this, you're not. People recognize you. The right people are recognizing you. The right people are seeing you for who you are. The right people are going to be in your life or come back into your life, because that's where they belong, and they know that that's where they belong. The thing about it is sometimes we're so bogged down by the wrong people that we have to make room. We have to make space. Because if you're bogged down by the negative energy and you haven't left that behind yet, you're planning and you're helping and you're allowing yourself to release things one by one. But the good can't, and Jupiter wants to bring the good in. And like I said, Jupiter is a planet where if there's not space for that good to come in, Jupiter won't really allow it. And with Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, where it's been for quite some time, the energy is going to be very, very right as we go into Capricorn season. That's going to bring a lot of illumination to what needs to be let go of and where you actually belong in your life. So, coming full circle with the world, maybe you need to travel. Maybe there are people that you need to go see. Let's see what the world is. But this is endings that bring beginnings. This is closing out chapters so new chapters can start. And possibly people coming back from the past. And a lot of times we have to let the past be the past. And you can't live in the present and you can't live in the future if you're still living in the past. And if these people come back from the past for you and they haven't changed, if they're the same person as they were, they're expecting the same relationship with you or the same situation to come about with you as it was before, they're not. And this is what's going to be illuminated between the new moon and the full moon. This is what's going to be illuminated. You know, during retrogrades with Mercury, and this could still be happening. I know people come back into my life all the time during retrogrades. Venus retrograde, it happened. Mercury retrograde, it happened. And they expect me to be the same person to them as I was before, except for I'm different. And I expect for them to have grown and be different as well. And I'm not saying that I'm any better than they are. They just haven't, you know, we're all on a journey and we're all in different places in that journey. And sometimes the past shows up expecting it to be exactly the same as it was in the past. And you're not the same as you were in the past. So I don't, and this is what I mean by, if the past shows up, you have to close the chapter on that. If it's not resonating with you anymore, and that's really what I'm getting at. If the past shows up and it is resonating with you, and you get a message from somebody, I want to say take it slow. Take the much needed steps forward that are going to allow you the most benefit of growth and evolution and prosperity in your life. Because I do feel this time, this Sagittarius new moon will probably bring some people into your life that either you feel like you've known your entire life or you have known for a very long time and they're just kind of showing up. And some of them are going to show up in a brand new way. But the thing is you're standing firm in not subscribing to an old belief system. Your values, your morals, your traditions may have changed and may be different from theirs. If they're showing up and they believe in the same things and they see you and they recognize who you are and they're being very determined to say, no, I see you. I get it. I get it. I'm here now, right? That's where the balance is. That's where the karmic justice is. You doing things in a very methodical way and moving forward in a very methodical way, it will bring karmic balance and justice into your life. Okay? And Page of Wands. Let's see what the Page of Wands is. Woo. Yes. Somebody's been through quite a battle. The Nine of Wands on the Page of Wands. Somebody's been through quite a battle, and I feel like they are done fighting for things that aren't supposed to be in their lives anymore, that they've outgrown. Because that happened. And again, it doesn't make us better than other people that we've outgrown. We just simply outgrow them. And this could be you really recognizing that you have outgrown some individuals in your life that you are actually fighting for. And it's time for you to recognize that your victory is on the horizon. And to not go backwards, but to move forward. The Six of Cups, it's so interesting because I really wanted to talk about people coming back from the past, or people maybe not showing up in a way that you want them to show up in a different and a better way. But it almost feels very, like if you look at this card, there's this little boy giving flowers to a little girl. It's very sweet. This could be the and like I said, this could be the wrapping up of a subscribed belief system from your childhood. And it's almost like an apology to yourself for allowing you, like going back and releasing the control over that inner child that just needed to be freed. It could also represent somebody coming back to you from your past in a very apologetic and innocent way and saying, I have changed. I do want to start something new. It's time to balance out the scales. It's not promised to be easy. Nothing ever really is promised to be easy. But this is the energy you have to work with. And the universe is not in the business of making people unhappy. And I know that a lot of people go through life like, why am I so unlucky? Why am I always the one that's unhappy? But you can't really blame a greater force that really wants you to be happy when you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And wanting it to change, but you're not changing anything about it. Because the more you stay stuck with the Hanged Man, the more you try to control the situation with the Emperor, Queen of Swords, Six of Pentacles, the more you try to discern where you're always giving your energy to one place in your life, people, places, and things, but not giving it back to yourself or the people that will truly back you up, the harder it's going to be to find love and to find those connections, right? Because you matter. And when other people are not making you feel like you matter, it's going to be very easy right now for you to see, because you can't really trust anyone in this energy, honestly. I said that to a couple of signs, but I don't think I said it to everybody, because everybody's kind of putting their good foot forward right now. Things are going to become very, very clear towards the end of December. So focus on yourself and focus on your goals and how you want to grow and what you want to build. And In between the working really hard, rest. Four of Swords and the Ten of Wands. In between working really hard, rest. Because the connections are going to show up and they're going to come in really, really fast. With the Two of Cups and the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands. And you'll be able to start fresh and start over again. But you have to allow it. You may have to leave some things behind during Sagittarius season, and it could get very emotional. Emotional, emotional, emotional. But it's karmic and necessary. Even if you feel guilty, I could just tell a whole story with all of this stuff. So leaving people behind, Five of Pentacles. You may have to leave people behind during Sagittarius season, or you maybe felt like you've been left behind during Sagittarius season. And recognizing, again, I feel like you're walking away from people and it's going to get emotional. Queen of Cups and the Eight of Cups. But with the Devil, it's karmic. And this was toxic for you anyways. So don't feel guilty. Seven of Swords. Don't get up in your head and think that you have to hold on to everything. Instead, be patient. Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Wands. Because through all of this water energy, there's also fire energy happening. And it may make some of us anxious and feel like we're just being stabbed over and over and over again, right? I think the moral of the story, for the new moon in Sagittarius, the sun will be in Sagittarius, Jupiter will be in Sagittarius. This is going to be a very big and bright time for you to manifest things for yourself. Nine of Pentacles. And again, it won't be easy, but on the other end of it is going to be wonderful. So make sure that you're clearing space for this. And I think that you've been working up to this for quite some time, but there's always that little bump in the road when you're trying to clear space and you fall backwards and then you have to get up again and keep going. There's a meme on my Instagram that I put up last night that my girlfriend sent to me. I'm Fearless Intuition 1111 if you haven't checked out my Instagram yet. It says, hold on a second. It's so good. She sent it to me. It's okay if you fall down and lose your spark. Just make sure that when you get back up, you rise as the whole damn fire. Okay? So rise. It's time to rise. Rise up. All right. I love you all. Have a wonderful new moon in Sagittarius. I will see you for 2019 readings. Oh, Chatelize. The link for the Chatelize sessions are below. I'm actually not sure how many are left available, but I know that I'm doing them for 2 hours every Friday. So make sure you grab your session with me on Chatelize. And I love you so much. And if you're waiting on a personal reading from me, again, I'm going to be getting caught up as soon as I possibly can. So thank you for your patience, and I love you. Bye.